Hello, welcome to 21st Century from the Philippines and the world. Literary device is a tool used by writers to hint at larger themes, ideas, and meaning in a story or piece of writing. There are many styles of literary devices, each serving a different purpose. Some operate at the sentence level, while others serve the piece of writing as a whole. It allows the readers to interpret, understand, analyze and examine work. Figure of speech, any intentional deviation from literal statement or common usage that emphasizes, clarifies, or embellishes both written and spoken language. It denotes the use of more expressive language applying varieties of words to provide creative and dramatic approach to the meaning being presented. Most figures in everyday speech are formed by extending the vocabulary of what is already familiar and better known to what is less well known. Thus metaphors, implied resemblances, derived from human physiology are commonly extended to nature or inanimate objects as in the expressions the mouth of a river, the snout of a glacier, the bowels of the earth, or the eye of a needle. Conversely, resemblances to natural phenomena are frequently applied to other areas, as in the expressions a wave of enthusiasm, a ripple of excitement, or a storm of abuse. Use of simile, a comparison, usually indicated by like or as, is exemplified in "we were packed in the room like sardines." Personification, speaking of an abstract quality or inanimate object as if it were a person, is exemplified in Money Talks. Metonymy, using the name of one thing for another closely related to it, in How Would the Pentagon React? Synecdoche, use of a part to imply the whole, in expressions such as brass for high-ranking military officers or hard hats for construction workers. Other common forms of figurative speech are hyperbole, deliberate exaggeration for the sake of effect, as in "I'm so mad I could chew nails," the rhetorical question, asked for effect, with no answer expected, as in "How can I express my thanks to you?" Litetes, an emphasis by negation, as in "It's no fun to be sick," and onomatopoeia, imitation of natural sounds by words, in such words as crunch, gurgle, plunk, and splash. To continue. Let us talk some from world literature. Equality is not always about treating everyone the same. It is about treating people in such a way that the outcome for each person can be the same. Which mean putting things in place to support people achieve similar outcomes. In 21st century, education has changed to ways of thinking and working. The 21st century learner should constantly learn, which denotes growing and adapting for a fast-changing world. There are 4 C's which stands for the 21st century skills, namely, communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Example. To analyze, interpret, and solve problems, it is a critical thinking skills. 21st century skills require media and information literacy. Example. Wattpad is the largest online community of readers and writers that serves as a platform for authors to publish their work, receive reviews and connect with fellow writers and readers. Do you want to know more? Well, let us have some overviewing of structures and traditions from across the globe. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. Most of Africa lies within the tropical region. It contains an enormous wealth of mineral resources like fossils, fuels, metallic ores and gems. Onigiri are Japanese rice balls. They're fun to make and are a staple of Japanese lunchbox, bento. You can put almost anything in an onigiri. Try substituting grilled salmon, pickled plums, beef, pork, turkey or tuna with mayonnaise. The rope tied a shrine space, or across its entrances, to mark its secret nature is called the shimenawa. Traditionally woven from hemp, but nowadays more frequently rice or wheat straw, his rope and its side paper steamers is a common part of New York decors. The use of ropes for hunting, pulling, and fastening, attaching, carrying, lifting, and climbing dates back to prehistoric times. In Asia, the very first rope ever made were twisted from the hemp fibers. Hemp's rope was used during the age of sailing ships. Hemp was considered one of the most durable natural ropes in the world. Let's review about story. The parts of a story consist of 5 main elements: characters, setting, plot, and conflict along with theme. The parts of a story are both technical and elemental in nature. 1. Character is a person, or sometimes even an animal, who takes part in the action of a short story or other literary work. 2. The setting of a short story is the time and place in which it happens. Authors often use descriptions of landscape, scenery, buildings, seasons or weather to provide a strong sense of setting. 3. A plot is a series of events and character actions that relate to the central conflict. 4. The conflict is a struggle between 2 people or things in a short story. The main character is usually on one side of the central conflict. On the other side, the main character may struggle against another important character, against the forces of nature, against society, or even against something inside himself or herself, feelings, emotions, illness. 5. Theme is the central idea or belief in a short story. American literature tends to reject authority and emphasizes democracy and equality of people. They often celebrate nature and a sense of boundless space. American literature was written over a period of thousands of years, in a variety of countries in Asia. One of the example is the Kabuliwala by Rabindranath Tagore in India. Latin America is a huge region that uses a general language called Latin language, which given specific terms for each designated country such as Spanish, Portuguese and French languages. Latin American literature refers to oral and written works created by authors in the parts of North America, South America, and the Caribbean. African literature refers to literary pieces produced on African continent. Let's be acquainted with some famous writers. Jacob and Wilhelm are the names of German authors Brother Grimm, famous for their fairy tales and stories like Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood. Miguel de Cervantes is the name of Spanish writer, author of Don Quixote, one of the world's greatest literary masterpieces. Jules Verne is a French author famed for science fiction novels such as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Around the World in 80 Days. John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, the author of The Hobbit and the epic trilogy Lord of the Rings. Arthur Conan Doyle is a famous author for his short series about Detective Sherlock Holmes. Joanne Rowling is a British author, screenwriter, film producer best known for writing Harry Potter fantasy series. This is Teacher Hims. See you next learning time.